Welcome to Arlington Public News. I'm Carla Dorado.
And I'm Paul Whirlin. Welcome back, Carla.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. In this edition of APN, taking the ifs, ands, or buts out of the zoning bylaws.
Some of safety tips for your home while you're away.
And from rails to trails, how the bike path became an Arlington icon. That and more coming up. Stay with us.
In the 4th District special election, the hotly contested Democratic primary battle is settled, but there's still the general election later this month, and Arlington prepares for a town-wide reassessment.
Brenda Mahoney joins us in the studio for this week's Snapshot. Hi, Brenda. What's the story?
Thanks, Paul. It was a tight race between Sean Garbely and Cindy Friedman in the Democratic primary. Friedman won by less than 800 votes, but took wins in 3 of the 5 district towns. Friedman served as chief of staff for the late Senator Ken Donnelly during his 9 years on Beacon Hill. In Arlington, she was an active member of the community, serving as both a town meeting member and co-founder of the Arlington Education Foundation. The general election will be held on Tuesday, July 25th. Friedman will face Green Rainbow Party candidate and Arlington resident Ian Jackson on the ballot. This is Jackson's second run for office. In 2014, he ran for state treasurer. There is no Republican challenger on the ballot, but write-in and sticker campaigns are always a possibility. Another 10 years has passed, and it's time for the next town-wide property assessment. State law requires a review and update of property information at least every 10 years. Starting this month, data collectors will visit every home in town to verify the property information that currently exists in the assessor's database. Assessors will examine the exterior of the property, conduct an interior walkthrough, and take a photograph of the property. All data collectors will be registered with the assessor's office and Arlington Police Department. Every data collector will wear a town-issued identification badge. If you have any questions or concerns about a data collector coming to your home, contact the Arlington Assessor's Office at 781-306-3050. The project is expected to take about 15 months to complete, and homeowners could then see a rise or decrease in their property taxes based on their house's updated value. For Snapshot, I'm Brenda Mahoney. Back to you, Paul.
The last major cleanup of Arlington's zoning bylaws happened more than 40 years ago. Since then, changes have been made and procedures have been updated, and each change has become a footnote of reference and rather confusing. So now the town is cleaning up the bylaws and clearing up a lot of confusion.
The master plan was adopted in 2015, and one of the primary recommendations in the land use section was to recodify and amend the zoning bylaw to have a good foundation upon which we could then do additional policy changes, also in accordance and keeping with the master plan. It is really an effort to make the document clearer, more internally consistent. There's a lot of cross-references within the zoning bylaw, so you might look at the definitions, which is one section of the zoning bylaw, look at the use table, which is in another section, look at the dimensional requirements, etc. There's a lot of different cross-referencing that needs to happen. We're trying to make it so that there's a little more internal consistency as well as external consistency with various laws and rules and regulations, and then the internal consistency so that you know where to look for any additional information, so that you know what you're doing, you know how to propose something, whether you're a developer or an attorney or a homeowner who wishes to do something, property owner who wishes to do something with at their home or property. I think that right now that lack of internal consistency does become a challenge and can lead to various interpretations of how things need to be done or how things do happen. 1975 was the last time that a major overhaul of the zoning bylaw happened, and everything was fresh again. Over the years, at either annual town meetings or special town meetings, there have been numerous modifications. So anybody who reads the zoning bylaw might notice something that says Article 9, Annual Town Meeting, April 2008, that something was deleted or added or changed or amended. There's all those little references like that so that you can see exactly when and how many times since 1975 things have changed, and that makes for some challenges because sometimes you see a newer version of something, but you also still see the older version of something. Having a zoning bylaw that is much more readable content has hyperlinks, is more accessible in an online format, has eventually improved illustrations. All of that is a massive improvement for a developer or a homeowner wishing to do anything with their properties. And for the town, frankly, for the boards and commissioners who have to utilize, and staff who have to use the zoning bylaw to help in decision making. So that right away, the zoning bylaw improvements make for an easier process. But the other part of the process is actually rules and regulations. All the rules and regulations about how you do things, what you need to file, how much of whatever you need to file, what size it needs to be. That would be put into a separate document called Rules and Regulations and Submission Requirements. Well, it will mean that we'll be able to keep that content fresh and be able to update it through the Arlington Redevelopment Board in my particular case, or the Zoning Board of Appeals, or any other board that may have a hand in where there's rules and regulations noted in our current zoning bylaw, where those independent boards can have their own hearings and update their rules and regulations independent of town meeting.
If you'd like more information on the zoning recodification process, the Planning and Community Development Department will be holding a public meeting on Thursday, July 13th at 7 p.m. in the Senior Center at 27 Maple Street.
You may use the Minuteman Bikeway to bicycle, walk, or jog, but have you ever given much thought to how it came about? Well, in honor of its 25th anniversary, APN revisits the push to replace the railroad tracks with a bike path. And along the way, we learn that this linear park also acts as a town center of sorts. APN Assistant News Director Brenda Mahoney has a look.
It's like urban nature. You can get to it very easily and there's a lot of activities, but you are also smack in the middle of a park, which many parks actually linked one-on-one, especially as you get further out. It's wonderful.
It runs 2.7 miles through Arlington, accommodating millions on bike and foot for 25 years now. But the Minuteman Bikeway connecting Bedford to Cambridge wouldn't be here at all if it weren't for a different mode of transportation proposed by the state some 18 years earlier, an extension of the Red Line commuter train along the defunct freight and passenger railway.
If it was going to come through Arlington, it had to be underground. And in August of 1974, at a redevelopment board meeting, somebody said, "What are we going to put on top?" And somebody said, "Linear Park, Bikeway."
The Red Line never got any traction, but Arlington held long and tight to the Bikeway idea. Arlington's former Director of Planning and Development, Alan McLennan, recently explained how town and local state representatives had to convince the Commonwealth that bicycling was indeed a form of transportation.
It is a way to connect in Arlington without traveling on Massachusetts Avenue. We had to fight to say, look, a bikeway is transportation, and we're just preserving it.
A necessary step as the state owned the right-of-way while Boston and Maine Railroad owned the land. This video, commissioned by the town back then, explaining the politics behind getting the 150-year-old tracks finally out.
The MBTA and the Boston and Maine Railroad, for a variety of reasons, had difficulty working with each other, and the bikeway fell in the battleground between the two of them. In May of 1989, I had the opportunity to attend a Rails to Trails briefing, and it was quite a shock to me to learn how relatively easy it was to obtain rail abandonment.
It then took 2 more years for all parties to agree to railbank the path, but just over 1 year to construct. In 1992, the Minuteman Bikeway became the 500th rail-to-trail in the nation. The impact on Arlington was immediate.
It's such a well-used facility in Arlington. Without it, Arlington would not be the town it is now.
And Christopher Tonkin should know. He's been commuting the Bikeway to Cambridge since its start, and as a member of the Bicycle Advisory Committee to the town, counts the number of users. 70 in a matter of 15 minutes one recent morning, so many that one bicyclist walking his bike across the busy Massachusetts Avenue and Pleasant Street intersection that the bike path crosses stays off the path during peak times.
Before school gets out, it's great. One school, it gets really crowded. I tend to use it 6 to 8:30 in the morning or at night.
I mean, I use it biker, walker, dog trainer, I bring little kids here sometimes. It's a school outing. It's an amazing place.
Right now I'm using it with my husband for exercise. We're training for a 40-mile bike ride.
How is it as a bikeway to train on?
It's great. People are very respectful, and there are bikers going fast and pedestrians and strollers, but we find never have had a problem. And my husband actually used it to commute to Kendall Square as well. So yeah, it's very convenient.
A convenience utilized even in winter. The town recently began snow plowing the bikeway for users. There have been other recent improvements as well, from new traffic signals to assist bicyclists as they travel the path across Mass Ave and Pleasant Street, to a business-sponsored bicycle toolkit for when you get in a jam. But the bikeway's main purpose of commuting and physical activity remains its core.
It's very healthy for any community to have a place that is not only healthy but is secure. So everyone, young and old, get your bikes, get yourself, and use this good thing that is this pathway that people can go up and down.
A call to action that many have heeded. And as Christopher Tonkin has rode the path over the years, he's noticed something else about the bikeway connection. It's also helped form human connections.
Generally, I think when people are out of their cars, they interact more because you can actually say things to people as you go by. It allows for that interaction, and getting that interaction, I think, makes for a much better congenial society that everyone hopefully gets on a little bit better.
A benefit that just can't be counted. Brenda Mahoney, Arlington Public News.
This is a first in a series looking at 25 years of the Minuteman Bikeway. In future installments, we'll look at just how many people use it to commute, and later in the summer, a history lesson on life before the bike path.
Carl, I can remember when that bike path went in, it was just like these old railroad tracks.
Oh, I didn't realize you were that old, Paul. It is a fabulous place. My boyfriend rides his bike on it, the kids walk on it, we take the dog, and there's just a ton of wildlife.
It's really a fun place. I like it a lot too. Saying goodbye isn't easy after more than 20 years in your one home.
And who's watching the house while you're away? That and more when we come back.
Stay with us.
Hi, it's Susan Karp, the Executive Director of the Arlington Council on Aging. The Council on Aging is located at the Senior Center, which is 27 Maple Street. As a municipal department, we're also a community-based social service organization. My particular department hosts exercise programs, lectures, informational sessions. We offer transportation. We offer support services. So our goal is to keep you engaged in your community as long as able. We're also focused on providing you access to different services that also might be able to assist you to age in place. We're available for your children, your adult children. We're available for you. So we also use this program through ACMi, the public channel, to communicate a lot of different things. So you can get us 5 days a week if you'd like. So on Tuesdays, and get your pencils handy, Tuesdays we're on at 11 p.m. Thursdays, 1 p.m. Fridays, 9:30 a.m. Saturdays, 7:30 a.m. and Sundays at 5:30. We'd really like you to tune in because we do have outreach information. We have our nurses on providing health tips. We have the police department coming on talking about their roles. We have Greater Boston Food Services coming in, Greater Boston Food Bank, talking about access to food. So really the topics are varied. The topics are meant for you. If you'd like something that you haven't heard, give us a call and let us know, and we'll make that our next program. But please tune in to the ACMi public channel. Thanks for joining me.
Here in New England, we spend long winter months dreaming of summer getaways to the Cape and the mountains. As you pack up the kids, the car, and the dog, take a little time to think like a criminal. That's the advice of Arlington Police Captain Richard Flynn. Thinking like a bad guy might be the best way to protect your home while you're away. Here's a guide to keeping your property safe so you can relax on that summer getaway.
So today we thought we would talk a little bit about some home safety tips and what residents can do to kind of protect their homes when they go away. So we're trying to avoid is someone seeing maybe the mail is up for a long period of time or what have you, and then someone could walk by and just quickly open up your mailbox and see that you have days and days worth of mail in here. When you're planning on going away, you should get your packages, either have them stay at the post office or have someone lined up to pick up your packages for you.
You can go by the post office, or you can just leave a note off for your letter carrier and let them know that you're going to be taking a vacation, and they'll drop one of these off to you. It's a Form 8076. On here you fill out what date you're going to be leaving, when you're going to be coming back. All you do is you can leave that out for your letter carrier, or you can drop it down here, or you can mail it into the post office, however you want to do it, a couple of days in advance to be on the safe side, and then they'll start holding your mail.
Typically we'll say do an outside assessment and do an inside assessment. So, thinking about the outside of a residence, you want your residence to look as if it's lived in. Nothing says that I'm away on vacation more than long grass, a yard that's kind of kept untidy, unless of course that's how you keep it. Your goal should be is to make your home look like it's lived in. When we talk about homes and the backs and the sides of homes, motion lighting is very, very important, so that if someone should make their way to the back of a home, the motion lighting will set off. And again, going back to having good neighbors, neighbors who know that you're away, or neighbors who just recognize motion lights going off late in the night or in the early morning hours. That's not normal. First thing a lot of people like to do is pull down all their shades and what have you. What if that's not how you live? Don't try and do that. But you can do some things inside, even if you leave your shades open a little bit, like putting your lights on timers. This light here, we can put this light on a timer, and we can set multiple times that it can go on and off during the course of the day. And you can set several timers in your home for several different things, just to help make your home look lived in. And back to the neighbors. If you go away on vacation and you take your car, ask your neighbor if you'd like, park your car in the driveway, and then use the driveway the whole week. One of the easiest points of access is a slider door. Sliders work on a railing system. The doors themselves can be easily removed unless you take some very, very easy precautions. One of those, and the easiest one, is using a bar. So as you see how the slider would work, you create this gap in this area. You can purchase or even make your own. A bar that goes into this area right here, into this rail, which keeps this door from sliding. A few things that we ask people to think about when they go on vacation is messaging and being a little tight with that information, whether that be a home telephone number and putting a voicemail message letting people know that you're going to be away on vacation for an extended period of time, or even on your computers, your autoresponder telling people, hi, thanks for emailing me, but we're going to be away for an extended period of time. That kind of information gets out there, and we ask people to just kind of refrain from it, keep it a little bit closer to the vest. Another area, social media. People love these days to get as much information out there and regarding themselves, et cetera, et cetera. We just ask that when you're away from your home for an extended period of time, you're away, wait a little bit before you post your vacation pictures on Facebook or you post them on your cell phones. Just wait. Before you go away on vacation, take a moment to think like a criminal and do an assessment of the outside and the inside of your home with the mindset of trying to make your home look like it's lived in. No better plan than to have a neighbor or a friend keep an eye on a home, making the home look lived in, and being able to report any suspicious activity. You can always contact the Arlington Police Department. Let us know when you're going to be away. We'll do our best to make sure that we have extra patrols go by your residence and whatnot. It would never replace having a neighbor or a friend keeping a close eye on your home, but it's just an added feature that we provide here in this community. I hope these tips help, and most of all, don't be afraid to go away and have a great vacation, because we all work hard and you deserve it. Just some things that we'd like you to think about before you do that. Thank you.
While residents are heading out of town for a well-deserved vacation, longtime tenants are packing up and moving, saying goodbye to the Gibbs School. It's never easy making a move, but these groups are taking their best memories of Gibbs with them, and they're looking ahead with excitement. APN reporter Caitlin Cry visited.
After calling Gibbs School home for 28 years, the Arlington Center for the Arts, Time to Grow, the Leslie Ellis School, and the Kellier School are packing up and moving out.
We are headed in a couple of different directions. Right now, we're in the last week of June, and we've started our summer camp program over at the Arlington High School. So for the summer, we'll be over there. And then come fall, we're going to be moving into a temporary office space at the Central School, which people may know more as the Senior Center. Will be on the second floor above the Senior Center.
As the ACA settles into the old Central School, renovations at Gibbs will return the structure to an active town-wide 6th grade school, and the Leslie Ellis School is taking on some major renovations of its own just a few blocks away.
As you can imagine, it's a little bittersweet. We've been at this location for many, many years, and it's really served us well. But one of the most exciting bits about the move is that we will be in our own fully contained building. Being here at the Gibbs has been great. But we've shared the space with a couple of other tenants, and although the town has been a great landlord, for us as a school, it will be really nice to be at 34 Winter Street, where we will be in a building that is exclusively our own, that we'll own, and that we can really make our own.
Both Leslie Ellis and the ACA are ready to pack their memories of the Gibbs School and take them along to their new homes.
It's a lot more fun to unpack and to put new things in and to like buy new things, and not a lot of new things, but you know what we can, and that's going to be fun. So that'll be one wild adventure that we are all looking forward to. And we're going to have a coffee bar and a little performance space and classrooms. It's going to be cool.
For Arlington Public News, I'm Caitlin Cry.
So, you know, Paul, when the kids walk into the Gibbs School in September of 2018, it's going to feel probably more like a homecoming for some of those children.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of them have spent time in that building already because they weren't there for classes at the ACA, so it'll be nice for them.
I think it'll be really, I know my kids spent a lot of time there, and it was a great place. Who had more fun at the HRC summer camp? The kids, the cops, the K-9's? That and more when we come back.
Going live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys,
Oh, hey Studio Night.
want to do something cool? Make TV with ACMi Studio Nights.
I don't think we have time to make TV.
That sounds hard. You have time to watch TV, but not to make TV?
Well...
Join ACMi Studio Nights to make TV with new friends, Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. and get this tiny flashlight, unless you're scared.
I'm not scared. You know we can still see you, right?
No, you can't.
Pretty sure we still can.
Do you have what it takes to ride with the Studio Nights? Of course you do. Join us next Wednesday.
Arlington's HRC Camp kicked off this week, bringing together kids and their local heroes, the police, fire, and EMT departments. APN's Mitch McLeod joined in and brings us this report.
Kids from 1st to 6th grade gathered at Dallin Elementary School for the annual Health, Recreation, and Community Camp. The community favorite signals the start of the Rec Department's summer programs.
HRC Camp's been happening for about 8 years. And it first started as a community collaboration between the police department, the recreation department, and our health department as a way to bring people together and get the community to work collectively on a goal of protecting and supporting our youth here in Arlington.
Campers enjoy plenty of classic summer fun with games like kickball and soccer and visits to the res for some beach time. What makes this camp special is the time kids spend with the police and fire departments. Getting an inside look at the departments is paired up with an information session covering safety tips on a wide variety of topics.
Say you're playing Xbox Live and you're playing one of your games and someone gives you a message. You don't know who that person is. You've never seen that name before. Are you going to answer it? No, because you don't know who they are.
The highlight of the presentations were when the police department brought their K-9 units to the camp.
Okay, so the dogs come here from Europe, the police department buys them, and then we train them to become police dogs. They go through a 14-week police academy to become a police dog, and then when they graduate from that, we go out on the road and work.
The K-9 units demonstrated their skills with exercises like an item search and a takedown.
Oh, good boy. So it's all a big game. See his tail wagging? It's just like they're playing.
Later in the week, the kids got to visit the fire station and the firefighters of Arlington Fire Department.
What kind of calls will we go on? You guys know when you call 911, what do people call 911 for? Anybody know? Call me out. Fires, the big ones are fire, right? We go with fire calls. When you call 911, if somebody gets hurt or somebody's sick, we can send the ambulance, we can help you out.
The campers proceeded to do training exercises and play with the firefighters' equipment.
Yeah, bleed. Pass the elbow, cinch it down, right? Then you twist this guy. Come over to this room over here. Follow me this way. Come on over. All right, you see anybody in this room right here?
No.
It's pretty dark, right?
Yeah.
If you use my camera, all right, there's my smoke machine. If I go to the right, what is this kid doing?
The kids ended their day beating the summer heat with the help of Arlington's fire engine.
The most important aspect of the camp, I believe, is for the police officers to be here and really be, one with the youth, really working with them to, have a lot of fun and build community. I think that when the kids have a positive relationship with the police at a young age, it's only a positive, trajectory of their life.
I think it's great for the kids because they really only see us primarily when things are wrong, when things are bad or when they need help. It's great to see that we're regular people and that we're here to help everybody. We're here to have fun.
One of the things as a firefighter, we do respond to different unfortunate events, and to get out there and show them that we're nice guys and don't be afraid of us is really important, especially when it comes to fires. If they have an ally in us, and if something goes wrong, that we can be there for them.
For Arlington Public News, I'm Mitch McLeod.
Not every dog is as well behaved as the K-9 units that visited camp. But even with Fido's flaws and quirky behavior, every dog owner enjoys taking their best friend to romp in the park. The Arlington Animal Control and the Parks and Recreation Department is creating a dog task force to help everyone enjoy our parks responsibly. Volunteers will learn about dog etiquette, leash and cleanup guidelines, and spend some time in the parks serving as ambassadors for our four-legged friends. If you're interested in finding out more or joining up, contact Arlington Animal Control Officer Katie Kazakowski at animalcontrol@town.arlington.mass.us.
Even Arlington Public News can't resist a summer road trip, so we're taking our show outside. We'll be shooting our next 3 episodes in locations around town, and we hope you'll come by and say hello. On Wednesday, July 19th, we'll be doing our newscast at Reservoir Beach from 4 to 6 p.m. Then on Wednesday, August 2nd, you can find us at the Thorndike Dog Park, also from 4 to 6 p.m. And we wrap up our summer road trip in Arlington Center on the lawn of the Jefferson Cutter House on Wednesday, August 16th from 4 to 6 p.m. Stop by, say hello, and maybe even get involved. We hope to see you there on the road.
Thank you for joining Arlington Public News as we explore events and issues affecting Arlington. You can always find our latest segments and newscasts on the web at news.acmi.tv.
And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Arlington Public.
I'm Carla Dorado.
And I'm Paul Werlin. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.